Once you finish that,
I don't want to.
That's right. She's got to drink while she's doing it too.
that's why we're gonna make her a delicious drink.
Oh!
Oh.
While Renee talks about that.
Okay. Are you ready to do
What did we
this?
say,
Ready to do
6?
this? I'm ready to do this.
Yes.
Okay. Ready to do this?
What?
Are we ready to do this?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Clue. Clue. Okay, the movie starts and it's like do 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 clue. And then Wadsworth's driving around, like driving in my car. I'm not drunk driving. I'm just driving. If that's in the mansion, and if that's in the mansion, and she's dancing and polishing some shit, and Wadsworth walks around and it's like, hey, ding 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 ding, and there's somebody at the door, and he's like, hey, my name is, and Wadsworth's like, shh, don't tell me who you are, and he's like, oh hey, there's a vet. I'm looking at her boobs. And the vet stands there and shows her boobs. So then the doorbell rings again, and Mrs. White's like, what's up? I'm Mrs. White, and I'm here as well. And then he walks Mrs. White over into everybody else. And Mrs. White is like, ugh, I hate a vet. I hate a vet. Okay, so Miss Scarlet, she was driving to the house. Everyone was driving to the house. And she was like, hey everyone, hey world, my car broke down and I'm putting my ass out in the world and I would like someone to pick me up because my ass broke down. Professor Plum is driving, he's driving down the road in his fucking windowless van, and then he sees Miss Scarlet's ass. So he's like, Scarlet, or whoever you are, would you like to ride in my windowless van? She's like, sure. This doesn't seem rapey at all. Okay, so the doorbell rings, and Mr. Green's there. So he lets Mr. Green into the house. There. Okay, it hurts. Okay, so the doors. No, the house. No. Everyone's sitting outside the house. And then the doorbell rings, and Wadsworth runs to the door, and then there's the cook. The cook is at the door. So the cook is at the door, and she's trying to cook dinner. Hold on, I need a minute. Okay, so everybody sits down. Wadsworth's like, shh, Mr. Body's here. Mr. Body, do you want anything to eat? And Mr. Body's like, we have to take a nap. No, okay. Wadsworth's like, hey, Crazy. Oh, you're such a sweet boy. So they turn to the study, and then Wadsworth's like, okay, I have this envelope, and it has all the reasons why you're being blackmailed. So, Mr. Green, I hear that you are being blackmailed because you are gay. And Mrs. Peacock, you were taking bribes for Senator Peacock's vote under a bathroom door. And, hey, Miss. Oh, kitty. It's dinner. No, it's after dinner. And he's like, hey, Mr. Body is blackmailing you. And everybody is like, wow, I had no idea. And Mrs. White knees Mr. Body in the junk. And he's like, ow, why did everyone meet me in the junk? That's totally not cool. And then Wadsworth's like, this is my idea. Good. So I'm gonna turn off the lights and everyone's going to try to kill Mr. Body, which doesn't make a lot of sense because why? He got everybody to come to the house and his idea was that everyone was going to kill, I don't know. Okay, so Wadsworth turns off the lights and everyone is like, oh no, what just happened? And Mr. Body's on the ground and he's dead. Or he might be dead. He could be dead. It's hard to say. I'm not sure what happened. Professor Plum, he's like, you guys, he's super duper dead. And they're like, nobody shot him. How did he die? And Mr. No. Professor Plum's like, I don't know. There's no bullet holes in Mr. Body, so he must have died from not a gunshot wound. And then everyone looks at the bullet hole in the wall. And then they look at no bullet hole in Mr. Body. Wadsworth is like, Chris Wiley, I'm trying to tell a story. Why you gotta interrupt? Mrs. Peacock walks up to Yvette and is like, hey Yvette, where is the bathroom? Oh, it's down the hall. And so Mrs. Peacock goes to the bathroom while everyone sits around and looks at each other. And then there's a lot of screaming coming from the bathroom. And so everyone runs towards the bathroom. Mrs. Peacock, what's going on in the bathroom? And she's like, check it out. Mr. Body fell out of the bathroom onto me and he's bleeding and I'm screaming and I don't know what to do. But Mr. Body's dead. And then Mr. Body falls down. Wadsworth's like, oh, well, I guess he wasn't dead before, but he's dead now. And Mr. Green's like, well, I didn't do it. Then the candlestick falls on Wadsworth. Then the cook is dead. So the cook is super duper dead. So Mrs. White and Miss Scarlet are dragging the cook. They're dragging the cook in body. No. They're dragging the cook into the study. Mrs. White and Miss Scarlet are dragging the study. And they drag the cook into the study and then they put her on the couch. And then they put his body on the couch. Then the doorbell rings. And he's like, hey, you guys, my car is broken down, so if you guys could help me with my car, that would be awesome. Sure, come in. Nobody's dead in the house, and there's a phone in the library for the motorist to use. Then Wadsworth locks the door. Who's dead? Who's dead so far? Not the motorist yet. The cook is dead. The cook is dead, and so is Mr. Body. Mr. Body and the cook are dead, and they want to hide that from the motorist. The doorbell rings, and it's a cop. So everyone runs downstairs. They're all like, let's not open the door, because it's the police, and there's dead people everywhere, so we shouldn't open the door. And then Mr. Green's like, well, I didn't kill anybody, so then everyone runs to the door. And he's like, hey, oh no, it's a cop. And then he slams the door. And so everybody looks at the cop, and then the cop looks at them, and then the cop looks at them, and they look at the cop, and he's like, hey, I saw a broken down car up the road. Is the driver in here? And they're like, no. And Mr. Green's like, yes. And then everyone else is like, probably not. And then Mr. Green's like, yeah, I think he's locked in a room here. I mean, he's here. So he's like, I'm pretty sure something funny is going on here. And then Miss Scarlet's like, Mr. Green will show you all of the rooms that nothing is happening in. So Mr. Green shows the cop the kitchen, and then he shows Mr. Green the ballroom, and then when the cop gets to the study, Mrs. White is tending to make out with Mr. Body, so the cop can't tell that Mr. Body's dead. And then Mrs. Peacock and the cook and Colonel Mustard are making out, so nobody can tell that the cook is dead. And then the cop's like, what's wrong with this? This is great. And Miss Scarlet and Professor Plum are doing it on a couch, and the motorist is there and he's drunk. Well, he's not drunk, he's dead, but they poured booze all over him, so the cop will think that he's drunk. The cop's like, this guy's drunk. No biggie. And Professor Plum is like, yeah, I'm gonna lick Miss Scarlet, and this is a party. And then the cop's like, yeah, this is great. This is a really fun party, and I'm sorry no one invited me. Okay, so Wadsworth comes in with a broom. He's got this awesome broom. He's got a broom. And then Wadsworth's like, okay, so now it's time to lock you into the library. So he locks the cop in the library, and Colonel Mustard is like, you guys, I am going to put together some matches and then figure out whose matches match each other. Okay, we're gonna cut the matches up, and then we're gonna draw lots and figure out whose matches match. And then whoever's matches match up they're gonna be a pair. And 2 people are gonna search the basement, and 2 people are gonna search the floor in between the basement, and 2 people are gonna search the what's on top of the attic. 2 people are gonna search the attic and see if we can find the murderer, because the murderer must be somebody, and hopefully it's not us, but it might be. But we won't find out until somebody's searched all of the floors. Okay, Professor Plum and Mrs. Peacock search the basement. And Mrs. Peacock's like, you are a pervert, so stop trying to grab my ass. And then Wadsworth and Mrs. White are searching the second to last floor, and Mrs. Scarlet and Colonel Mustard are searching the ground floor, and they look around. There's no murderers in the ballroom, so they give up. Mr. Green and Yvette go and search the attic, but it's hard to get up to the attic because Yvette's boobs are in the way because they're really big, and they take up all the room on the stairway. Yvette gets killed, the cop gets killed, somebody hits the cop over the head with a thing, and then somebody shoots, the doorbell rings, and it's the singing telegram girl, and she's like, hey, this is the song, I came to sing it. And then someone shoots her, so she's dead, and they're like, oh shit, the cop is dead. Ah, crap, Yvette is dead. Oh no, this singing telegram girl is dead. And then they run to the kitchen, and he's like, so the cook is dead, and I know who stabbed her. And they're like, who? And he's like, I'll tell you when I'm done running around. And he's like, while we were in the study, Yvette snuck around with a knife and stabbed the cook and hit Mr. Body with a candlestick, and now he's dead. And that's why he's dead. Miss Scarlet was the mastermind. Scarlet's like, okay, figure this out. Besides running a brothel, I also have a chamber of secrets. I keep secrets about people, and then I know all your secrets, and I was the one who's blackmailing you this whole time. I am a capitalist, and I am selling your secrets because that's what capitalists do. Wadsworth made an appointment with the cops. He called cops and told them to be there at 10:30. So the cops showed up. Hey, Miss Scarlet, we got you. You're a communist and you're arrested. And then everybody is like, hey, that might have happened. That could have happened, but it might not have happened. That's probably not the real ending. Let's try a different ending. And then Wadsworth's like, let's figure out what the real ending is. I know who killed the cook and who killed Fett. And it was Mrs. Peacock. Mrs. Peacock killed everyone. She killed all the dead people because she's a dick. And she's like, suck it. And they all sing her a song. And they sing for she's the jolly good fella. The cops are like, hey, Mrs. Peacock, even though we know that's not your real name. She's like, okay, you're probably right. I probably killed some people. So everyone shuffles around and they're like, okay, this is the real ending. Okay, I'm gonna tell you the really reals killed everybody. So first, Mrs. Peacock, you killed the cook. And I know this because you liked the monkey's brains and nobody else did because it was monkey brains. And Miss Scarlet killed the cop, that's why he's dead. And then Colonel Mustard, you killed the motorist, you motherfucker. And then Mrs. White is like, I hate her. They were playing on the face, which really hurt. That really hurt. But they were playing on my face. And I killed her. And Wadsworth was really happy because he figured out how everyone died. Cops showed up because Wadsworth called the cops, made an appointment for 10 p.m. For real. And they all the cops came in and they're like, hey, Wadsworth, there's all these dead people. What's up with that? And then everybody's pointing at each other and Mr. Green's like, he did it. So he shoots Wadsworth. And Wadsworth's like, that sucks. Everyone thought that I was gay, but I'm not. I just shoot bitches. Then they arrest Wadsworth. Well, they sort of arrest Wadsworth because he's dead, really. And then they arrest everyone else because everyone else killed some people too. And then that's the end. And that's the end of the movie.
Perfect.
I feel like I missed a lot of it. Should I go back?
No, I think you got it. As far as I can tell. I haven't seen the
We're
movie
very
in a while.
thorough.
Yeah, you were actually pretty fucking good.
Get out from that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Get out from that kitchen and rattle those pots and pans. Well, roll my breakfast, cause I'm a hungry man. I said shake, rattle and roll. 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 I said shake. Wearing those dresses, yeah, shut up tonight. Wearing those dresses, your hair done up so nice. Wearing those dresses, your hair done up nice. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. Shake, shake, rattle and roll. I said shake, rattle and roll. I said shake. dog and soul. I'm like the one-eyed one shot. I'm like a one-eyed cat sleeping in a seafood store.